Today I've got a couple cool Taylors in the studio. One that we have shown you recently. This is our 914 Alamo exclusive. So I'm going to remind you about that one as I talk about this very interesting quote-unquote one-off custom GA that I recently got from Taylor. Stick around. How's it going, y'all? This is Cooper Greenberg here at Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. When you watch the videos, you like the videos and comment on the videos, all that stuff really helps us reach more cool people like yourselves, so we really appreciate it. Turn your notifications on so you know when cool stuff is coming, and check out our spring store, check out the podcast. We haven't done one in a bit. Chris is running around and I'm running around, but I guarantee you it's not over. We're still going. It's just few and far between right now. When things slow down after the summer and band season, we'll get back to it. So 914 is a GA. This is called custom GA, but they're both GAs. They both got sinker redwood on the top, and they're both made of rosewood. You can see they kind of look similar, kind of don't. We have shown you these on the channel so far. We've got a few of these left. These are our new Alamo exclusives, and I'll talk about that in a second. But sometimes we get what's called a hot list from Taylor, and they say, this is a bunch of interesting stuff that's not standard models. Do you want any of it? And we showed you one recently. It was the EG12 that went out the door immediately after the video was posted, and I wish we had more of them, and I apologize that we don't. But this was also on that list. This was just called Custom GA Sinker Honduran. And we didn't know anything about it. It said one-off in the description, and then it said they had quantity 2. So it's a one-off, but there's 2 of them. So it's a 2-off, if you catch my drift. And so we got 2 of them because it sounded cool, and it sounds like the kind of thing that we'd like. And I finally unboxed it, and I think I got some ideas on what the scoop is with this one, but it's close enough to the 914 AMC that I kind of think it's worth it to talk about both of them and why they're different and who might they be right for. So before we get into the weirdo 2-off custom GA, just a quick rundown on our 914, which I'm calling the Cindy Sinker because it's got Cindy inlay and it's got a sinker redwood top. Very creative. So on the Cindy Sinker, it is your typical 914 in every way, shape, and form, except the top wood has changed, sinker, and the inlay has changed, Cindy. Now, many of you may remember, and we talked about it in the video, there was the Chris McKee 914 that we did based off his old school 914C, I think was a 2000, 2001, 2002 model. And he had Engelmann spruce on the top. We did that run with the Engelmann that had the bear claw and the Cindy inlay because that's what it was like back then. He had the 914 with the Cindy inlay. And we are really big fans of the Cindy. I know some people out there love it. Some people don't love it. When we put out the original video on this, some people are like, man, Cindy's too complicated, and that's totally fine because I like simple stuff too. I really appreciate the Cindy. I love this past the 12th fret up here. You get this pretty little bird and some flowers and stuff. I think it's a really classy, upscale, fancy inlay. It's not the tree of life, you know, and I like the tree of life on some guitars too, but I like the Cindy, and we love sinker because it's that, first of all, very special wood that's got all the coloration. This one that I pulled out for this video just happens to have a really nice top, but it's got all the standard 914 appointments to kind of frame it, so plenty of abalone, nice koa purfling around the abalone, and just a beautiful guitar. So think of this as your 914, just with a different top and a different inlay, and you'll be good to go. And I think the people that have played these and bought these are digging them, and I just didn't want this to get overshadowed as I talk about something that kind of bridges the gap between this one and a presentation series. So we've had some catch customs recently that are like kind of presentation plus. I think the one I'm about to show you is almost like it could have turned into a presentation series, but it got stripped back a little bit with some of the little tiny things that kind of take the presentation to the next level. So that's the 914, bridging the gap to the presentation series. Is this custom GA? Sinker Honduran. So that alerts you to the fact that yes, it's sinker top, but this is not East Indian rosewood like the one I just showed you. This is Honduran rosewood, which is Taylor's kind of step up, premium grade of rosewood. Taylor's got the Honduran, Martin goes heavy into the Guatemalan, both very, very cool kind of upscale versions. Not that East Indian rosewood is not upscale, but this is definitely the premium upgrade if you're wanting rosewood. You can notice this is a 4-piece back. It's got the little Simon wedge going on, and it's matched really nicely. You get kind of the outline of this knot right there, right in the middle. So I think it's very cool, and I do like Honduran. Part of the reason that I wanted to do this video is so you could hear kind of a comparison of two guitars that are more or less similar. They both got sinker tops on them. See if you can hear a difference with East Indian versus Honduran. But other thing is, this one, as you can see, has some more of the appointments that kind of signal that presentation kind of vibe. So it's definitely got more pearl in it. It's got the rosewood pickguard. It does not have the little inlay of the presentation series. This has Ascension inlay on the fretboard, which is 900 style inlay. If you were going to get a new 900 series, it would have Ascension. If you're going to get an old 900 series, it would have had Cindy. So keeping it kind of with the 900-ish vibe, just a little bit more pearl on this one than that one. And it does not have the koa around the pearl. It's got just pearl all over. It does have it on the sides here and tracing the whole back, whereas on the Cindy Sinker, you got, the kind of koa purfling on the back and on the sides, but no pearl. So this is definitely kicked up with the pearl action, headstock that you'd see with the Ascension inlay. Both of these have Goto 510s. Both of them have the radius armrest. Both of them have V-class bracing. And so they are very, very similar. This one has a pickguard. The other one does not. This one has Honduran rosewood. The other one has East Indian rosewood. The weird thing about these, the custom GA one-off that we have two of, these on that hot list, these were demos. And you've maybe seen them on the website. We've typically got a pretty steady supply of what they call factory demos, which are things that they used in marketing, things that they had at the factory that they used for events, road shows, find your fits, whatever it may be. I think there's probably a long kind of list of where these guitars could have come from, but we do get them at kind of, since they have been utilized for a certain function, factory demo wise, we do get them at a little bit of a cut, a little bit off, and get to bring you guitars that are cleared as great, very, very good condition, but a little bit is off. So I'm looking through this. I don't see, besides a little bit of the case fuzz that's hanging out on the E string, I do not see any dings anywhere, anything like that. This is, for all intents and purposes, a brand new custom GA. I will talk about the price. So the Cindy Sinker, that one is listed regular price at $67.99, which I think is a good value. This one, which is a one-off, that is one of two, I do not know what the typical retail normal price would have been, but I know this one's right above $6,000. So this one kind of bridges the gap between the Cindy Sinker to the presentation series, and since it is a factory demo, it is a little bit less, which I think is something that's worthwhile if you're looking for a Taylor, the exact model that you want. Typically, we will have access to one of those as a factory demo, and sometimes the list is super long and it's got almost everything. Sometimes it's just a few, but we try to think about like what are our top sellers, what are people kind of looking for the most. This is something that's a little different, a little off the radar because it's kind of too off, but any of the standard models, we typically have access to factory demos. So it's worthwhile if you're looking for one. We may have one, we may be able to get you one, and you do get a little bit of a discount since it's been used for something. The biggest kicker on that, which is worth it for full transparency, they do not come with the factory warranty. You shouldn't need it. They're in great condition, but that is a thing for some people. I don't want to hide that. So that is part of the benefit of buying a brand new guitar, but these are great value. This one being used with a little bit more pearl and all that, used as in factory demo, it does come in a little bit less than the 914 AMC. So that's my spiel on those. I think that they're similar enough to warrant kind of a comparison. When you're listening, they should sound very, very similar. But do you hear much of a difference between the Honduran over here and the Rosewood, East Indian Rosewood on the 914? Let's find out. Take a listen. So there you have it. There's a little bit on the Cindy Sinker, a little bit on the Ascension Honduran. That doesn't roll off the tongue as well, but this is a fantastic guitar, and I think that both of these are right for a certain type of person. Obviously, you watch these videos, Chris and I put together customs and exclusive runs all the time. You know we're going to be biased on our own stuff. That's why we made it, because we think it's better. And it's not like we were in there playing in the wood. We didn't make them, but we definitely wrote it down on a sheet of paper and told them this is what we wanted. So obviously, we're a little biased. I like the Cindy Sinker. We weren't able to get the Bear Claw Engelmann to make more of the normal kind of Chris McKee 914Cs. And so my whole thing was like, I love Sinker. Why don't we just do Sinker on it? That's available and that's cool and it makes it a little different. So I really like this guitar. I think it sings. I thinks that it's great. And it's been cool hearing people play these side by side with regular 914s, because some people are going to like the spruce, some people are going to like the Sinker. It's total personal preference. Obviously, I'm a little biased on this one, so I think it's great. However, with this guy, I am not the type of person to prefer the bling of a presentation series. They're wildly expensive guitars that are absolutely gorgeous and fantastic, but I think this one exists as a pretty cool option that is not available all over the place. We're probably not going to see any standard model that is exactly like this, because they don't do a ton of Honduran outside of the presentation series. But if you love a presentation, you want a little less bling, and you're looking for something. So right above, let's say this one's, I think it's like 6059. Like, it's definitely under 6100. Don't quote me on that. It's on the website. But it would be around another $4,000 to get a presentation series brand new. They right now go for $99.99, and it is outside of customs and only some customs. It's the most expensive Taylor guitar that you can get, and we get them rarely, and people always that are looking for one are very, very happy with them because they're the pinnacle, they're presentation series. But if you're looking for something with about 90% of that vibe, you got the Sinker on top, you got the premium Honduran mahogany, and you got enough pearl to be Mr. Krabs' daughter. Am I right, kids? So yeah, I think this one gets you so much of the way there. It's got the sound, it's got the vibe, and I really wish that we had more of these than just two, but we do have two, and they're very, very cool. And if you like this and you want something like it and we're out of them, talk to us about custom shop stuff, because you could absolutely spec this out to be exactly the same from the custom shop. Pricing would definitely differ, but you could probably get there without going up to presentation price level. So there's all kinds of options there. I just think with the little appointments of the Koa over here and the Cindy, it definitely looks different while being a very similar guitar. I think they sound similar. Maybe I do not have an ear that is trained enough to pick up all the EQ differences between the Honduran and the East Indian. I do hear a little bit of a difference. I'm not sure exactly how to articulate that, but I do like Honduran for the look and for the feel and the sound. I just think it's very cool. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Do you hear a difference between these? Do you prefer the aesthetic? Do you think that it's sacrilege to put a rosewood pickguard on a beautiful Sinker redwood top? I don't know. I think this looks good and I think this looks good. But if you got a preference, I'd love to hear it, because you know, if everybody loves these, we'll just spec them out and make them ourselves, but not actually make them, just write them down on a sheet of paper. So let us know what you think. Cindy Sinker, Ascension Honduran, you feel me? And that doesn't even connect, but you get what I'm saying. Custom GA or 914 AMC exclusive, which do you prefer? Do you like the Sinker stuff? Do you like complicated inlays or classic looking inlays? We want everybody's input, because that's how we know where to steer our ship and what you guys want to see more of. So please let us know if you're interested in either one of these. We got a few of the Cindy Sinkers left. We got currently 2 of these, but they dropped just a couple days ago. So hopefully we still have them by the time you watch this video. If you like them, I'd love to send you up close and personal photos of any parts of these guitars that you would like. And love to help you find the right thing for you. Thank you very much for watching. AlamoMusic.com is where you'll find both of these, and where you'll find a way to contact us through chat or email, phone, come in the store, whatever you'd like. We'd love to help you out. Thank you for watching. See you next time.